Number 1, minutes 2022 February business held over because of lack of quorum in the March meeting. February 2022 financial report. March 2022 financial report. Action items. No action items. Does anybody have any questions? No, that's great.
I make a motion.
So we need a motion to approve.
I make a to approve the minutes and the financial. Oh, the minutes of February and the financials of February and March.
That was so good.
I second.
We call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes win. Yay! Action items, discussion, no action items. Discussion items, no action will be taken. Food and wine and art festival, farmers market, next event. You have 2.5 minutes. Go.
Okay, this is what we had for the food and wine event. I don't have the exact number, but we made approximately $4,000. We had 247 that actually registered at the gate, but our monies show that we had 100 more, which means we had some that probably just purchased the punch card, or wives didn't register their husbands, and some just did not want us to have their information, which was okay because we still collected the money on that. I did have suggestions that I had accumulated from several of the board members, several of the vendors that I talked to, and also some of the businesses and some of the people in the public that were there. And before I start on some of those, to kind of give you an idea, I do want to tell you how much I appreciate all the work that y'all put in for this, because y'all did an amazing job. Tina and Kathy did an amazing job. Lily, she ran that hospitality house, and that was a big plus for us because the vendors and wineries thoroughly appreciated that, and I know the workers did when they could come in. Some of the suggestions was for each board member to have an assigned list of specific job duties and to go over those, possibly a meeting beforehand to kind of go over those duties. Possibly need 2 gate areas, one on the north side of the square for handicap accessibility and bathrooms, if that's where we put the porta potties next year. But that means we'd need more volunteers. Take registration slips approximately every 2 hours after drawing so baskets won't be overloaded, and it will also make sure the winner of that bottle of wine is probably still there. Set a date for next year and keep it that way for future years. Second Saturday was mentioned as a good time. At some point that could be an Easter weekend, but we can address that when that happens. Send out save the date cards to wineries and vendors when we've established a time frame. And once we've determined that, 4 points of contact: the save the date, emails, phone calls, letters, whatever we have to do to remind them about this event. Collect registrations for next event during current festival and maybe offer a discounted rate for early sign-ups. The biggest advertising that we had was Facebook. I took all of those registration cards and broke it down into each section that was circled, and Facebook won hands down. So if one person shared it, then their friends kept sharing it. One was get our website up to date, and we're aware that there is an issue with the website. It will be addressed by this time for our next event. Cooking demos need to be on the bottom section of the square. The ground would be more level. Some people didn't understand they didn't have to pay a fee to get up just to see the cooking demos, which means we would need more canopies to cover the people sitting there and all of that. But it would be more level. Hopefully people wouldn't tip over any of that stuff. Porta potties. We had the trailer. I think it worked pretty well, but we may need more if we have more vendors. That's a good suggestion. Another one, this was a suggestion from someone, potentially invite all city limit restaurants to Square. If we invited county, we'd have to charge them a rent fee, because that's just, I don't know. That's a suggestion made. We need to plan now for the fall event and start working on it. If a vendor sets up a booth, it must be manned by someone. And I'm using this booth as an example. Either the school or the PAC group wanted a table. They put up signs for the school bond, but no one was there to answer questions. And that was something brought to my attention when somebody asked me, well, I want to ask some questions. Who do I ask? Well, there was no one there. So we need to make sure if we have groups that want to put up a booth, someone needs to man it all day, just like the rest of the vendors do. For people asking about a vendor, I was being given cards left and right. We need a separate little basket or a little container where they can just drop their business cards in or phone numbers and what they do, to keep them separate from the general registration, because I had to filter through some of those. Need some way to track people that wanted to be on the square just to hear the music, see the cooking demos, or just purchase punch cards. A suggestion was made to only use our committee at the gates and not other groups that have volunteered. That our committee should be the only ones handling the money. We're the face of the event and not other groups. Board members should not market the company they work for. Any type of branding while wearing a staff badge or working the event. We need to, if we're going to be there, we need to make sure that we have either food and wine or whatever event we're having, those type of shirts on, or a plain shirt, whatever you're comfortable in, with no branding of any kind on it to go with your badge. Not necessarily, no. We need to make sure and go ahead and book the entertainment that we had this year that was widely enjoyed by the crowds. And the carriage rides. I'm just going to tell you, the carriage rides blew me away. That gentleman had told Kathy and I that he wasn't sure how well it would go because it was during the day, and that poor horse maybe had 20 minutes downtime that I could tell. So he did well, and he was pleased, and we were pleased at the amount of people that even if they didn't get up on the square, there was an activity they could do as a family. I think we need to offer the added benefit of free/discounted food on the punch cards again. It was a benefit of people due to the shortage of vendors. They were able to walk around. The map on the back was wonderful. I do want to put out the sandwich boards next year, maybe like pointing down toward the, is it Brasilia, how you say it? Yeah, whatever, I can't say it. And Milano's, and maybe down toward Birdie's and the Glove Factory, because I think I have 4 sandwich boards. That way we have, even though they have a map, they can look and say, okay, it's on down further. Several people ask about food trucks. And due to the influx of people in the immediate restaurants, the ones that I poked my head in, they're a quick option to eat or get something to drink. Other than what few that could get into the restaurants just to get a drink, the only option they had was wine. And we had quite a few kids. So even if we had one of the school groups, I know the senior parents are always trying to raise money, even if we just had them on the corner selling canned drinks or bottled water, that would be an option for that. But that was asked several times. I got stopped on that several times. That's what I have on that one. That's all I've got for the food and wine. Do y'all have any suggestions I need to add to my list?
Well, I just had a question. How was it from the restaurant standpoint?
It was great. Lemonade and sodas and snacks would be great, but as far as food, I think we should keep it to all of our restaurants.
And I agree, but I also see the point some of them were making, especially if they had small children.
Yeah, but we can't cater to every single body.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Right. But when you go anywhere else to festivals, they've got some kind of other option if you don't drink wine. Do you see what I'm saying?
Can I make a suggestion then? When it begins, we could say, we need at least this many vendors for food. That gives every restaurant an opportunity to jump on board before a food truck. I don't, if it's an ice cream drink truck, I think that's great. But I think, you know, like Steve-O's could sell pizza by the slice. If we pulled our restaurant onto the sidewalk and had balloons and a canopy and
Yeah, but that is so hard to do to have. I mean, like, I can't have 20 burgers out here waiting.
No, I just mean all of us have something that we're featuring that day. You know, all of us have something different that we're doing. And with the Glove Factory here, that's another way to showcase to the wineries that there's an opportunity for you to, you know, maybe be a supplier or something like that for that event.
I think one thing for us to always remind ourselves with any of the commissions and boards. You'll see small business in the Main Street district, and it's alignment with that non-development corporation. And that will help you because it is, I will say, I'm totally. Because there are kids.
I'm just saying, these are suggestions that were given to me.
And it's good. It's a good suggestion. I think it can be addressed. The same issue can still be addressed, just in a different manner. That still serves the purpose.
Yeah, I know you're right.
Crystal, did
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing kind of Brad said about I've been on promotions committee for as long as I think I've been on Main Street, and it's the whole point of Main Street is to bring business to promote businesses to the Main Street businesses. And so I think the loading dock was great. All around the square was great. I loved working the gate and just talking to the different people coming in. They're there for a food and wine festival. Like Brad said, there was kids everywhere in restaurants, you know, in and out. Drinks, I do definitely agree that there needed to be something that was a warm day too, but maybe even Main Street sell water and sodas. Keep
Can
the
I
money,
say
right?
something? I've got it pushed. Can you hear me? Sonic usually donates tea and lemonade and have somebody working it. So that might be your drink.
About the shirts and what people are wearing, I really don't think that makes a difference because everybody had a name tag on. And if we're having to do dual duty going back and forth to our businesses, I mean, like my chef and general manager has to wear his shirt. He did come and do a promotion. He's not on our committee, but let's say he's on the committee next year and he's having to go back and forth. I don't see the issue. I mean, we're not just strictly saying, okay, come to 5B, come to the Chop House, come to Steve-O's. That's not what we're doing. We're working, but we're also doing double duty.
okay, I'm just gonna say this, before y'all think I'm trying to take over or anything, these were suggestions I solicited from y'all, or vendors, or businesses, or people that would stop, or even suggestions that were made to other staff members that may not be the board, okay? So, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Farmers market. Anybody have anything to say on the farmers market?
I have a sign-in sheet that I will need everybody to sign up for. We do need to have a discussion on second Saturday. Are we still going to proceed with the entertainment, that sort of thing?
I would think so.
I'm coming into blind on the second on the farmers market area.
Jonathan really handles a majority of that.
To help farmers market or second Saturday.
Do we charge for vendors on second Saturday?
Never have.
Okay, I'm starting from square one on farmers market because I have no clue if we've charged before. I've not sent out any emails yet. I've gotten a few responses back, but I'm waiting to see what we need to do. Because if we're paying out for entertainment, we need some way to bring money in to pay for those guys next year. I mean, some of the emails have already gone out prior to me taking office, so I don't know who's been told what. Problem is, there were some emails already sent out prior to April 1st, and I don't know who all's gotten those. That might be something we need to look at for next year, is charging.
Been amended due to all the price increase and stuff like that. I mean, we're gonna have to
For
charge
second Saturday only.
Yeah, $25 vendor fee for anybody that attends on second Saturday that's not selling a homemade product.
That's not part of the.
The music was in the budget. Always has been. The entertainment was in the budget item.
So is there a crowd paying somebody a few $100s? Like
I think Jonathan has all that information.
He's given me all the emails and stuff to email. So you're thinking a booth fee for second Saturday?
There hasn't ever been that many booths participate. Around town, around the square, there's definitely people during second Saturdays last year, the ones that I came to or worked. I don't know. I don't think $25 would make that big of a deal. I think they would still come for that, and that would probably cover the music. But there's definitely not 20 or 30 vendors. Like, if you guys haven't been to one, it's not huge like that. I think that would be a goal, like that it could look like the wine festival or more even. the more people downtown, the more activity, the more people feed into the stores, and again, just visit, and that's kind of the goal of it. Farmers market starts really slow, and then but second Saturdays the vendors kind of put that on. Other towns have really done up farmers market, and they put those on their schedules, it seems like, and then second Saturdays we started to be able to gather some of that. That was a little bit bigger of a crowd.
Because you're not making any action
Okay.
items to change anybody.
Yeah, we're not doing action items. This is discussion only. Why don't we address the vendor booth price in September after farmers market, when we see, like Crystal said, how much activity we have down here
From second Saturday.
from second Saturday? Yes. Is that okay? Okay. Also, I talked to the health inspector this week. We're going to have to be very vigilant, because if they serve any prepared foods, and we've had some to apply with to-go meals, they have to have a temporary health permit through City Hall to be able to do that. And I also learned something else. Y'all may know this. I have no clue. If they cut open a watermelon and offer anybody slices, they have to have a health permit.
It's
Or-
prepared food.
Or prepared foods. So that's something you're going to have to look at. And I have his phone number, and I will email that to everybody, because he said be sure and call him if you have any questions. If it's your day to work and you have questions, call him, and he will tell you one way or the other whether that's good or not. Yes, he was very good. He enlightened me on a lot of things, so I was very impressed with him.
But also, like last year, we had people that would just like show up with a grill. They stood in front of another.
And they have to have hand washing stations and all kinds of stuff. I mean, he totally opened my eyes on slapping a grill out there and grilling hamburgers.
Yes, before they can do that.
What if they
And then
just
y'all
have
don't
their
have to
food
keep,
and they're not able to, like, they're not keeping their meat in a cooler, or they're not washing
shut them
their
down.
hands?
And he did tell me,
We'll give you a badge.
and if you don't want to do it, you can call me, and I will have no problem telling him I don't have a food permit for you, because they have to apply to set up.
What if they have their food permit, but they are not following the rules?
Same thing.
Same thing. Then call him on the phone and tell him, we've got a problem here at the Mount Vernon Farmers Market. Would you like to speak to them, or would you like for me to have the cops come and arrest them or give them a ticket?
They're probably not going to be arrested.
A ticket. Would you like for them to be ticketed?
It could escalate.
We want to stop it quick.
I know Mount Pleasant would have any.
I'm making him out to be the bad guy, but he really isn't. He was really nice. He's really nice.
He visits the farmers market, so
Yes.
he'll go and he'll
Yes.
shut people down if he needs to
Yes.
shut them down, or he'll tell them just, hey, do this, and you're good.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. He does try to be helpful to them.
And you need to get on the Texas Cottage Food Laws and kind of review some of their guidelines, and they're really good to tell you what you can and what you can't do. So they're good. So
Next event,
Is farmers market every Saturday?
Every Saturday. From the first weekend in May till the end of September.
Okay. and then the second Saturday, but they're two different events.
Second Saturday just has more of a punch. It has the extra vendors.
Okay.
And like John.
Volunteers needed for every date on here? Oh, wow. And
And
how many?
really, at farmers market, it's just quick. You be there in the morning, like 7:30. Welcome them. Tell them where they can be. If we have wineries come, they need a certain spot because there's a TABC place for them. It's just making sure that that's good. And I've done it before, and you literally just go around, welcome them, say, do you need anything? Thanks for coming. Take a couple pictures, maybe send it to whoever's running the Facebook page so they can say, hey, go get your blueberries and your corn on the cob at the farmer's market today. And that's really all is signing up to do. Second Saturday requires maybe somebody here or two people having it and just staying throughout the day for the music, different people coming in, different people coming out.
Next event.
Winsboro has already announced theirs.
This is for y'all to determine what our next event is going to be, so I can email our vendors
You're gonna need multiple choices.
that were at the wine festival, you know.
Are
If-
we having a dinner this time?
The last board canceled it, so it would be up to y'all if y'all are. Bonnie's the only one that. Bonnie, well, I think it's just something y'all need to.
Just so you know, in the fall, the last 2 weekends of October are basically free, and the first 2 weekends of November. But the second weekend of November starts getting cold usually. 'Cause they have-
I will tell you, Winsboro already has their activity, I think it's November, already planned. Oh,
We need ideas.
But in Main Street, it's a specific thing for Main Street.
Craft beer and wine fest.
I will tell you,
Who used to do the street dances?
Yeah,
I will tell you, I do have a potential vendor if we do craft beers.
I'm sure he knows some. I know some. Like we could do a German festival.
It used to be, there's
Yeah.
just too many wine festivals anymore, so they get limited.
Sorry, I'm punchy today.
Why don't you have it in October and have Oktoberfest here?
We could.
I don't know if German festival, but we could.
And sausage.
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, a lot of people call Country Fest Oktoberfest. Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
think
but
if,
y'all can't crouch in on the.
I kinda liked just starting one day and coming into it without the planning.
Email you? That we have,
Yes.
email each other, talk amongst ourselves?
No, you can't talk among yourselves because it's open meetings. But you can email me ideas and I will
She
do
can
like I
tell
did the
everybody else.
suggestions.
She can tell everybody else.
Yes, these are some of the suggestions that I brought forth. Be thinking about them, and then the May meeting, we can sit down and that can be a discussion and maybe a motion item of what we're gonna do. That way we can go ahead and get it started.
Whoever's the big wins, committee reports, organization, economic, design, and promotions. No reports, move on. Manager update, social media and email. Manager update?
His finger's getting a workout here. If you have any passwords to any that have been assigned to you for the websites or the Facebook pages or Instagram pages, I need those because we are currently in the process of transferring everything under the City of Mount Vernon's Main Street page. We're getting a new new website in the future, and everything needs to be tied in under there. And it's also a security issue. So we need to make sure if you've got any passwords and stuff, I need those ASAP so I can get all of that changed. I know there were some people assigned different passwords for some of the websites or some of the Facebook as admins. So if you've got those, I need them. Please.
I had one, but I don't know what it is. Whatever Carolyn had. And Canva. That was another one that I had, but I don't know. If you change the password, I probably can't get into it.
We mainly need the logins if you've logins.
Because some of the
You can give it to me afterwards.
Adjournment?
I have one more thing. Once I get a list of the farmers market vendors, I will send you that list so you will know that they have applied. As soon as people apply and they're approved, then I will give you all that list. So whoever's working that Saturday can print it off and check, because you know that they've already had an application. And I'll have several printed for you. If they've not applied and they're setting up, they can apply right then, and then you can just snap a shot of it and send it to me.
That was a good job. Adjournment? Motion to close? Second the motion?
I second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. 5:50, adjournment.